Hi students, today we are going to study English. In English, we are going to study the first unit. In first unit, we have to learn the first poem, that is What a Bird Thought. Okay, are you ready? Very good.
Okay, the lesson is going to be very interesting.
Okay, so we will start with the first stanza. In the first stanza, as we know the title, What a Bird Thought means what? Here the bird is thinking. It tells us about its houses, different houses. So in the first stanza also, the bird describes us, or the bird tells us its first house. Okay, so it says it lived in a little house. Okay,
The house was very small.
and it was the first house of the bird. Can you guess the first house of the bird? Yes, can you guess where does a bird live for the first time? Yes, very good. The bird lives inside an egg. Okay, so that is the first house of the bird. So here bird says that it lived in the little house and he lived there very well, very nicely, comfortably. Okay, and see, that was the world to it. The bird's little house was the only world to it. It means an egg is the world of the bird. Okay, and the world was made of a pale blue shell. What? It made of a pale blue shell.
Have you ever seen an egg?
Yes, we know that an egg has different colors. Whitish egg, bluish egg, brownish egg. But here the bird lived in a blue or pale blue shell. What is mean by pale? Pale means light colored. And shell means what? The outer protective cover or outer protective case is called a shell. Okay, so the bird here tells us about its first house, that is an egg, and that egg was the world to it, and it is made of a pale blue shell. Okay, understood? So it is about the first stanza. Now we are going to study the second stanza. Okay, are you ready now? So now in the second stanza, the bird tells us about the second house of the bird. Okay, and it tells us that it lived in the nest now. Do you know what is mean by nest? Nest is the bird's house. It is a house of bird. And here the bird tells us that nor needed any other here. Why it tells like that? I will tell you. Okay, just wait. See, it tells us that now this nest is the world of it now. In the first stanza we learned that an egg is the world of the bird. But now here the bird tells us the nest is the world of the bird. Okay, and in the nest
The bird is covered by the feathers.
of mothers.
It is covered by its mother's wings.
So it is very safe. So the bird tells us nobody is needed here, nor needed any other. Understood? The second house of the bird now. Okay. In the third stanza, we are going to learn about the next house of the bird. Okay. Now in the third stanza, the bird tells us about its next house. Okay, now see what the bird tells us here. One day it fluttered out of the nest. Fluttered means what? flap or unsteadily come out of the nest. Okay,
Why does it come out of its nest?
to see what it could find. Okay, and what he saw then? Then he thought that the world is of leaves. Okay, when he come out of the nest, he saw the leaves of the tree. So he thought that the world is made of leaves. Okay, and the bird tells us here that the bird was blind, that it could not able to see anything. Why does the bird say this? Because first he thought that an egg is the world of it. Next it said that nest is the world of it. Now the bird sees leaves around it. Okay, so the bird says it was blind. Now we are going to learn the fourth stanza and the last stanza of the poem. In the last stanza, the bird tells us that at last it flew beyond the tree. It flew beyond the tree. And what did it see? It saw that sky is blue.
So here the bird saw
The
that.
sky is blue. Okay,
Now the question arises in the mind of the bird.
that how the world is really made. How the world is really made. Okay, I can't tell. I can't imagine how is the world, because in the first stanza it tells an egg is the world to eat. In the next stanza, the nest is the world to eat. In the third stanza, it tells us the leaves around it was the world. Now in the fourth stanza, it tells us about that it saw the sky and the blue sky. Okay, so it could not able to tell us how the world is really made. Okay, yes, I can't tell. Can you tell me how the world is really made? Okay, yes student, have you understood all the poem? Okay, very good. So here what we learned today? We learned a poem, What a Bird Thought. Okay, understood? And in this poem the bird tells us about its various houses. Okay, understood? Very good.